Hi. So I was looking on my YouTube channel the other night and realized it's been about 10 days since my last upload. So I just wanted to give an update of where we are. We're at about day 80. We have about 10 days left here, and then we get to go home. By far not the end of my journey, but an end of a big part of the journey. We get to actually leave Stanford. Stanford doctors will still be following me for quite a while, and then so will my oncologist back in Sacramento. So, but a lot of the intensive healing will hopefully be complete by day 90. This week we have a bone marrow biopsy scheduled for Thursday. By far my least favorite tests that we do. In fact, they terrify me. Painful, scary, but I know it won't be my last, but it'll be my last for a while, so I'm happy to hear that. All my blood work has been doing well. My white blood cell count is normal. Neutrophil count, which is the largest portion of your white blood cells, that count is normal. My hemoglobin is close to normal, relatively. It's much better than it's ever been, and my platelets are about halfway back to normal. So really progressing the way that the doctors are happy. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited to go home. I miss home so much. And I'm sure my kids are tired of taking care of my home and my animals, so I'm excited to get back there. The funny thing is, when you get a bone marrow transplant, it actually wipes clean like all of your immunizations you've ever had or anything like that, so it's like a brand new newborn. So at some point, I believe it's 6 months out, but I don't have clarification on that yet. I have to start with all my immunizations again, which I will definitely pick and choose between those. But we still have to be really careful because I'm on immune suppressing drugs right now, so that my cells do not attack my sister's donor cells. So a lot of still navigating medications and all of that kind of stuff. Still there's good days and bad days because nausea and just, it really just is like a whole, like learning your body again, because, before this happened, I've had years to know how my body works, how it feels, what makes it feel good, what doesn't. And everything's different now. And so it's relearning, what will not cause nausea, what will make me feel good, when I need to eat, when I don't. It's just different, strange to, be learning this all over again. But so happy to just be alive and be here and be on well into the road to recovery. So my natural hair is growing back. I obviously look at it every day, and so happy that it is. And eyelashes get longer every day. It feels like, probably not, but in my head, it feels like they are, and it's super exciting. So my brown skin from the, can't really see it anymore. You see a little bit of the brown skin on my shoulders and back, because that was really the last place that I developed it. But what happens is the chemo starts to slough off on in your biggest organ, which is your skin. And so a lot of times your skin will turn brown. Mine turned brown and white polka dotted. So that's all starting to slough away and go away. I still have stomach issues. I still have a cough and stuff like that, and I think that's just the stomach issues. I really think are a product of the chemo and how it affects your GI. And then, you're on a lot of medications, still pretty strong medications, which hopefully we get to taper off, some at day 90 and some at day 100. And some will be on for, 6 months to a year and even longer. So it just depends on how things go. But we haven't had any graft versus host, thank God, because I remember meeting with my Stanford oncologist. We met with him after I did the 7+3 chemo treatment for a month in Kaiser Hospital. And it was in the interim before we came to Stanford, but after doing my treatment at Kaiser and in the middle of my chemo rounds in between there. So we came out to visit, I think it was right after I got out of Kaiser. We came up to meet my oncologist up here, who's been running my care up here. And we went over, I am a detail-oriented person, and I like my doctors to be straightforward with me. But this was so straightforward, it took me actually a few days to recover from, because he went through all of the steps that we were going to go through, all the what ifs, all the this could happen, what's the percentage of this happening, and at every step of the way, he talked about my percentage of not making it and of not being successful. And even after the stem cell transplant, because graft versus host can get pretty serious. And I haven't had any. And thank God for that. Thank everyone who's said a prayer for me. Thankful for faith and for hope too. So anyway, let's see. It's a very, very real thing, and something, my both of my parents died within a few months of each other a few years ago. And having somebody close to you pass away really puts your mortality really right in front of you, that life is precious and life is fragile too. And teaches you how grateful you need to be, but especially even more so, when your own mortality is put in front of you, really, and you learn that at kind of every junction or every step of the way in the next year that you could not make it. So makes you prioritize things differently in your life, which I'm so very grateful for. Makes you grateful for every single day to be alive, and you'll hear that from a lot of cancer survivors. At least I've heard that they're just so grateful every day, grateful for the good days, even grateful for the bad days when you don't feel so good. So I'm, as hard as it's been, grateful for this new chance at having new priorities, and for the rest of my life, just valuing every second of every day and being so grateful the minute I wake up in the morning, thanking God for the day that I have ahead of me and for my life and for being in recovery. So that's brought about some great things, but it hasn't been without struggle, a lot of struggle. And for my family too, a lot of struggle for them. So the other day, just a lot of this stuff I want to share so I don't forget. Because as time passes, you get into life, we're getting ready to go back home, and you get into life again, and all of the little things that happen with life and little problems and things like that seem to take over like your daily thoughts. And I don't want to forget to be grateful. I don't want to forget the struggle, because feeling the struggle and how difficult it's been makes when things are going well so much better, so much sweeter. And I don't want to forget, like I said, to be grateful. So for every single second that I'm able to be here on this earth with my kids and my husband. So the other day, Monday, Monday. Yeah, it was Monday. I was trying to think where we are in the week. Monday, I got on the elevator coming out of Stanford after I had received my chest x-ray results, and I get a chest x-ray every 2 weeks, and my blood test results. And I just, got on the elevator and I just started crying because, every time I go in there now, I get a good report. My pneumonia is completely gone. My x-ray's clear. And all my numbers are going up. And like I said, my white blood cell count is normal. My neutrophil count is normal. And just, when you're in the depths of kind of despair and not feeling good and not seeing your numbers progress like the doctors want them to, it's terrifying. And you feel like you're not going to get better, and you feel like, there's not a life ahead of you. All you can see is kind of that darkness. And, when I left Stanford Hospital and I went into Stanford Clinic 3 times a week, every time I was going in there, the doctors weren't happy with my numbers, and I was getting blood transfusions every day when I went in there. 3 times a week, I would get blood transfusions. We would be in there for a good part of the day. And, we did an extra biopsy because they were worried about, if I had leukemia cells, or they just didn't know why my numbers weren't progressing. It's terrifying. And every time I get a number that's like in the red or not in the green, I freak out. What does it mean? And what are we going to do about it? And usually they're like, it's fine, it's okay. And I said, is my cancer back? And they're like, we're not worried about your cancer coming back. So, but I got in the elevator and I just thank God for, the good report. And the good report, every time I go into clinic, I'm getting a good report. And it's, I used to get so anxious before I would go to clinic because I knew I would get a bad report. And I just couldn't understand why my body was not responding, right, to the treatment that I had gone through. So, and there was nothing I could do to make it better. So, just grateful for so many things. Sorry I cry so much, but it's such an intense, you go through so many intense fears and worry and anxiety. And I've really, really had to use faith to not fall into that worry and anxiety. That's one of the lessons that I had to learn. I am a worrier and I have a lot of anxiety, period. That's kind of just who I am, but learning to get through that and to not live my life in anxiety, but to live it in gratefulness. So the other thing I didn't mention when I was going through my entire journey, when I posted that a week and a half ago, was the first time that I heard that I was cancer-free. My husband was on the phone and the nurse came in and she said, I can't remember what we were talking about, but she just said, you're cancer-free. And I just stopped talking. I was like, and because I hadn't heard that before, and it was after my bone marrow transplant. She said, yeah, after your bone marrow transplant, we just consider you cancer-free, but it hadn't been said. And I didn't know that. And I just started crying, and my husband's like, what's wrong? Is it okay? And I just, through my tears, told him, that we're cancer-free, and it was probably the best words I've ever heard. So, and I plan to stay that way too. So, just wanted to give an update. We're starting to pack, get ready to go home. Want to also just send gratitude to my husband, Big Al. I just wanted to send gratitude again to all those who have prayed for us and helped us out financially, and to my kids, my neighbor, Sherry, my friend, who listened to God when she should tell me about the hormone replacement therapy. So many things. People that held things down at work. I'm going to be gone from work for a year. So, and I was, running the program. And so I know that's been really hard to juggle things while I'm here and recovering. So, and my kids have just, I've said it before, they're just little heroes. They've just taken over and for 6 months been taking care of our farm and doing everything that we would do there. And, they have their lives and work and everything, and they've juggled everything and just made it like it's not a big deal, even though it's a really, really, really big deal. And it's a pain in the butt, I am sure. So just also, if you're just want to give a shout out to all those cancer survivors, cancer warriors, let you know that I see you, and I know the struggle and everything that goes into recovering from cancer, no matter what type of cancer it is, no matter what type of chemo, radiation, or what kind of therapy you went through. So, all right, so thank you.